Sometimes you just gotta make them bite.
There he is. Look at that. Great big one.
This spot's gotta have fish. I got him. Good one, boy. Good one.
There we go. There, Chop. Nice fish.
That did not take
Like it or not, the times they are a-changin', and it's only a matter of time until change comes to your local waters, if it hasn't done so already. Change is in the wind, the water, and even the ways we fish. Nowadays, a bewildering combination of invasive species, environmental impacts, and man-made stresses on some waters conspire to upset fish behavior, throw traditional fishing patterns out the window, and make fishing more challenging than ever. So what's an angler to do? Recognize the challenges, roll with the punches, and adapt to changing conditions as effectively as possible. After all, that's exactly what the fish must do. And if you can make sense of their reactions to changing environments, you can revamp your fishing tactics to keep pace with change. Today, on The Edge, we head north to gigantic Red Lake, Minnesota, where a generation of overharvest by commercial and recreational anglers brought a once legendary walleye fishery to its knees. The good news is, progressive management has allowed the lake to rebound to its former glory. It's an important lesson for all who fish there, and for those who prefer to learn from the experience rather than experience similar roller coasters of fishing productivity elsewhere.
Nice fish trolling. Beautiful.
It's time to put a new spin on innovation and touch off a revolution. It's time to push boundaries and leave our mark on the world. It's time to say goodbye to excuses, limitations, and half measures. It's time to get it together. New Onyx with Crosstouch. Now, everything you can do with a touchscreen, you can also do with a touchpad. Only from Humminbird.
We tried beating it senseless, bending it in half, and punishing it with extreme temps, corrosive salt water, and blistering UV rays. And all Talon did was ask for more. So we wanted to know what Talon's breaking point really was. We'll let you know if we ever find it. Talon, born tough, tested tougher.
For over 65 years, Lund has had an unwavering commitment to build the finest fishing boats on the water. 65 years of dedication, innovation, passion. Lund boats stand up to the elements and the use hardcore anglers put them through, season after season. Built by fishermen, for fishermen.
Oh, there he is. Hey, you! Yeah. Fat boy, you can't get none of this. Look at me. I got moves. I go left, I go right, I go left again. Watch it. Oh, there it is. Psych! I'm so erratic, I don't even know where I'm going. Come on, Chubby Cheeks. Come on, Bucket Mouth. Come get some of this. I can do this all day long. Look at me. Watch this. Come on. Your mama's so fat that she can't get out the fish net. Ow! All right, I'll give you that one.
closed captioning provided by Fraybill.
There we go. Oh, I got him. I got him. That's a nice fish.
Is it?
Yep. I dumped him, and he came back and drilled it. That feels like a real nice fish there. Oh, they got a nice one back there, too. Everybody's on them.
They're starting to fire.
They're either, this one's either foul hooked or it's a really nice fish. I haven't hardly moved them.
Or it's a pike. There's some big pike known to roam these waters.
Yep. Wow, that's a good time. As the day's gone on, the bites definitely started to heat up, or we got into an area where there's a lot of fish. This is probably a zone we're going to want to go back through and jig when you get
Definitely.
to it. Oh, he's got one over there when you're looking around and everybody's hooked up.
Nice walleye, Jared.
Oh, yeah.
Nice eye.
Just go real easy with them. Hopefully I don't pull a Ryan and lose him right here. But I'm really hoping for.
There you go, buddy.
Oh, that worked out perfect, huh? There we go.
That's a little better.
Yeah, it is. We've done pieces on this flat line trolling before in rivers. Of course, it works in reservoirs and it works in lakes as well. But this flat line trolling, I'm telling you, is one of the most effective means of catching walleye. It's just such a great way to cover water. You find the active fish, and it's just straight up fun. It's efficient and fun. How do you like that?
A lot of these big windswept walleye lakes throughout Minnesota have imposed slot limits to protect those main broodstock, those fish that are really fertile and produce the offspring. So, for example, on this lake, we can keep 4 per person under 17 inches, and then 1 over 28. And what you're doing there is protecting those key spawning fish, the ones that produce the most eggs. But we made a trip here last week, and it was phenomenal. Everybody was catching a pile of fish, and you know, we kept a limit of fish just under 17, which is pretty outstanding on a slot lake. The lake is just chock full of them. But lakes that are of this makeup, big, as you can see, this is a huge body of water, sandy and full of gravel, are walleye factories.
Red Lake is a remnant of Lake Agassiz, a massive glacial lake drainage that long ago covered vast portions of Minnesota, North Dakota, and central Canada. At 443 square miles, Red Lake today is the 16th largest lake in the U.S. and the largest natural lake lying entirely within the state of Minnesota. Red Lake is comprised of 2 large basins separated by a peninsula. Lower Red and most of Upper Red lie under Native American jurisdiction, and anglers are limited to fish the eastern end of Upper Red Lake. Years ago, commercial overharvest decimated the once thriving walleye population. Native and Minnesota fisheries departments responded by closing walleye harvest for a number of years to allow the population to rebuild. During this time frame, the scarcity of walleyes simultaneously allowed the Red Lake crappie population to explode, producing legendary catches of very large fish, particularly to ice anglers. Eventually, as crappie harvest increased and the walleye population blossomed, the lake returned to more of a historic balance between the native species. Today, the lake hosts an abundant population of small to mid-sized walleyes, along with some very large trophy pike. Walleyes have once again been restored to a limited angler harvest. Large crappies are still present, but are far fewer in number. Red Lake is wide open and windswept, contributing to the reddish, murky water clarity. The vast, dish-shaped main basin peaks out at about 17 feet. With limited structure other than subtle shoreline breaks and weeds, most of the fish are caught in 12 feet or less, and often considerably shallower. Walleyes also roam the main basin in search of wandering minnow forage, with large schools of fish here today and gone tomorrow. We're going to have a 2-pronged approach today. One, we're going to do a lot of trolling in this lake. Like I said earlier, is gigantic, and finding fish in it can be a needle in a haystack. So you can go through this and jig, and you're probably going to run into some fish, but the system of trolling along and then putting a waypoint down every time you catch a fish makes it easy to find where the schools are. So we'll end up trolling maybe a mile, 2, 3 of water, and we'll have waypoints throughout that whole trolling section. Then once we're done, we'll maybe head back up to the top of it. We'll jig those spots, get a few fish, and then we'll move on and continue trolling. But that's a really efficient means to cover water in a giant lake that seems nearly featureless.
This whole area here happens to be the eastern basin of this lake, and right now you can see the trails on the chart, and we're running pretty much the only structure on this entire lake, and it's the shoreline break. And that's where we drop off from that 5 foot of water down into 10, and that 10 foot is basically the makeup of the entire rest of the lake. But during the post-spawn period, we're still catching a lot of fish that are lingering around where they spawn. Males, and with any luck, we'll catch some nice females too. There we go. Hooked up? Yep. Just went through a pile of bait.
Yeah, saw that.
You'll go through just clouds of bait out here, and those are those schools of spot-tail shiners.
Doubled up, doubled up.
And we're gonna just go ahead and mark a waypoint. So when we're done, we're gonna whip a Yui.
See?
We're gonna pull an illegal U-turn.
Cool. Depending on what forage they're eating, walleyes may prefer long, thin, minnow-imitating lures or stockier shad-shaped profiles. Today we're using scatter wrap minnows, which mimic the slim shiner minnows prevalent in Red Lake. If yellow perch were the preferred food source, stouter perch-colored shad wraps or scatter wrap shads might be a better option. High-vis lures like the Storm Mad Flash Thunderstick and Smash shads featuring UV bright finishes reflect more light than standard paint colors, making them easier for walleyes to see when wind and waves roil the water into a reddish hue. So we carry some of each, briefly troll a few lures from each category, and let the fish tell us what they want to bite on any given day.
Put a mark on that one too.
Nice. Oh, that feels so good. You got that tight line going, you can feel the bait working, and it just folds the rod over. And the gear that we're using is real simple. It's just a standard spinning rod. This happens to be a Quantum XO. It's a 7-footer, medium action. It's the same rod that I'd used for live bait fishing for walleyes, your standard jigging rod. And that's really all you need for this flatline type of trolling. You don't have to get the specialized gear. It's just a real simple system. We'll get this guy in. Whoa,
another beauty.
Brian's getting the nice ones, but I'm getting the nice ones for the table.
The bulk of this lake is free of terrain features. It's pretty flat, but we're hugging the shoreline right now for these post-spawn walleyes, and it's a really definitive drop-off from shallow to deep. And we're hugging that pretty tightly. The fish are right at the base in about 7 feet of water. A tiller boat allows me to really hug that contour tight just because of the maneuverability of that motor. It's pretty tough to do that with the console, keep a rod in my hand and keep my face planted to my electronics. So for this style of fishing, we really do like a good tiller rigged boat like this. This happens to be a 90 horsepower Mercury 4-stroke, and I have it rigged with their big tiller handle. Now this allows me to do a few things. Number one, if the winds come up and it gets real rough out here, it's hydraulic assist. A 3-year-old could run this boat. Secondly, it contains all of my controls. There's a fish right there. Right here where my hands are operating the motor, so I just flip the boat into neutral right there to allow me to fight the fish. I also got power trim and tilt right here, and another really great feature for trolling applications is the RPM adjust. So I can hit the minus button to go slower or hit the plus button to speed up a little bit. So makes for real efficient trolling, that's for sure.
Live bait isn't your only option for catching walleyes. Jigs, soft baits, and hard-bodied baits are deadly for triggering big fish to strike. Break tradition with Walleye Artificial Intelligence, part of our Angling Edge instructional DVD collection, available at anglingedge.com.
Suffix 832 is constructed with 7 strands of Dyneema and a single strand of Gore Performance Fiber. It's the roundest, longest casting line in the world. It offers superior abrasion resistance so you can fish it anywhere. It's the strongest, most sensitive, and durable small diameter braid ever to hit the water. Nice fish, Brett.
Thanks.
Suffix 832. Always use the best line.
First one, oh, big one.
You're seriously just gonna leave me in here?
Yeah, I'm fishing deep today, Ike.
Are you kidding me? These are perfect conditions for pulling big bass out of heavy cover.
Yeah?
Heck yeah! Try one of these weedless wacky jigs.
All right, yeah.
It has an offset hook and stainless steel weed guard. Whoa! Oh,
Sorry, Ike.
flip it in there, and its wacky action will have you pulling out one fat bass after another. Please! I can't say anything.
And there she is.
My first Mercury.
154 stroke, the lightweight heavyweight. And she comes with all this. Say hi to Wendy from customer support. She's always there to help. Jerry from product testing. He dishes out the torture.
They can take it.
Good. And Tim from design. He never misses a detail. Obsessed with quality. Bobby, prop engineer. He turns horsepower into performance. This is George.
It's good to have Mercury behind you. Meet the rest of the team at mercurymarine.com.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
The Edge is presented by these and other fine sponsors.
There
we go.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Got it.
Thank you. Oh, and it just popped off. Look at that,
sir.
Now you can pop me in gear.
Yeah. So a lot of beautiful leader walleyes, and you know, you get a handful of these, it makes for a heck of a day walleye fishing. Look at that guy.
That's a beautiful fish. Wow.
Oh, look at the fish down here, man.
Just
Seriously,
zip it.
there's a big wad. I'm not even kidding. We got to throw jigs on this spot.
There we go. That didn't take long on your little spot there, Ryan.
We're not even on this spot. I just stopped.
I just dropped that back. This is a nice fish too.
Is it?
First cast, the bait just hit the water.
And like bass fishing, I'll toss right back to where that fish hit.
Yeah, look at that. That's a nice
Give
one.
me the net. Give me the net. Where's the net?
It's up front there, Bubba.
Here we go. All right. Nice.
There we go, yeah.
That's a nice starter jig fish.
No kidding. No kidding. Wow, talking about that system of wanting to be real
And you know what I'll do?
with the jig.
Just tailing down.
Yeah, it's a good deal. I mean, that bait barely hit the water, and this guy just crunched it. Boy,
Nice
did he ever crunch it. That is a really good-looking walleye right there, isn't it? Heck yeah. Really nice fish. Eat that. I'll show you this jig that I'm using. Oh. This guy back in the water here. Nice looking walleye. Again, for this dirty water, I'm using a really bright colored jig. Of course, that's a jig color that walleyes really like. But
VMC makes a variety of jigs for walleyes. The hot skirt jigs we're using today are excellent all-around jigs for use with either soft baits or live bait. Their glow-in-the-dark skirts and flashaboo fibers help walleyes locate the jig in dark or dingy water. VMC's Moon Eye jigs are designed for use with soft baits, featuring a wire keeper and oversized hook to keep the bait in position during aggressive jigging retrieves and to ensure good hookups with bulky soft baits dressed on the hook. Hammerhead jigs are designed for use with live bait, using a short shank hook to position minnows or other live baits tight to the jig head for slower, subtle, more natural presentations. While all good jig designs, each excels under the right circumstances. Match the right jig to the conditions and you're in business.
There's one.
Ooh.
That one? There we go. Wow, shallow, like 4 feet of water. That the bait was in free fall. Hit the water and whack.
I just missed one up here too.
Okay.
Wait, didn't have
Went
to move there.
1 foot, but fair enough.
Here at The Edge, it's rare that we film what's known as the meat pack. Off camera, however, the staff, like many fishermen, enjoy the selective harvest that brings a fine meal of fresh fish to the table. Red Lake just happens to be one of those fish factories that produces delicious eaters and lots of them. So today we're keeping some of the catch in preparation for our annual office fish fry. Walleye, pike, and even a few, what the heck, sheepshead will make for a fine meal. When it comes to keeping some of the catch for a meal, many fishermen shy away from eating pike, which in our opinion here at The Edge are among the finest fish to eat. The key to well-prepared pike, however, is boneless pike, and there's a few tools that make the process a breeze. We recently got back from a trip up to Ontario's massive Lake Nipigon, which is prime shore lunch country. Here's an outtake from our trip and hopefully a pike cleaning tip that you can put to use.
I kind of do a different Y bone removal technique. Tail piece on a pike, that's always bone free, so I'll always take that off. That's the choice piece. That's the one my missus likes to have. Not that it matters because you're going to remove all the bones anyways, but I start out taking the tail piece off. And then there's this nice lateral line, this kind of break point between the two fillets. And what I like to do is just take my fillet knife and run it down that. It almost pulls apart naturally with your fingers, but it cuts very easy because it's already a cleavage plane in the fillet. This was the belly portion. That's completely bone free. That's ready for the frying pan right now. I'll just make that into 2 nice even portions. So right off the bat, I got a tail piece and then 2 belly pieces of meat that have no bones. Now for the Y bones, this is the back of the pike right here. So what I like to do, I can identify, I can see with my naked eye right now, this row of Y bones. You can hear them with the knife. I like taking my martini knife, making a slight cut right along the Y bones here. I can hear the knife just lightly cutting them, and then I'll just kind of angle the knife and ride those bones all the way down to get that really nice chicken finger piece that fries up so well. So there we go, there's that back piece. Now that's completely bone free. That's great finger food, fresh off the frying pan or deep fat fryer. Then I'll take this back piece and I'll actually remove a nice chunk of meat that remains on the back side of the Y bones there, and that'll give me my last good piece. So there's that. Again, I'll cut that in half, 2 nice chunks. And then here's what's left. The Y bones, not a lot of wasted meat. And that's it. Pike ready for the frying pan. Flat. Oh, don't roll up. Don't you roll it up. Oh, come here, buddy. Show you this guy.
Pliers, Joe?
Yeah, please, Ryan.
Okay.
There we go. Another nice fish trolling. Beautiful. Beautiful walleye. Again, what's so cool about this is just the simplicity of the system. I mean, the amount of water that you can cover, and we caught some fish jig fishing and we're watching guys jig fishing, but I really think that we're catching nearly as many fish just going back and forth. And if you want to stop and take a break, you certainly can jig fish, but this is so easy. Anybody can do it. If you got a boat, you got an outboard, put the motor in gear, throw it out with your walleye rigging rod, start driving around and you're catching fish, man. This is really a good time.
When walleyes get fussy, you need to saturate the fish zone with techniques in either temp bites or trigger strikes. That's where Walleye Precision Techniques put you right on target for walleye success. It's part of our Angling Edge instructional DVD collection, available at anglingedge.com.
Why take chances with your engines? Protect them from neglect, wear, and tear the easy way. With Seafoam Motor Treatment. Seafoam helps to maintain top engine performance by removing harmful deposit buildup from your engine and fuel system. Control moisture in gas and diesel. Stabilize fuel for up to 2 years. And lubricate your engines to start easier, run cooler, and last longer. Trust all your engines to Seafoam Motor Treatment, the choice of mechanics for over 70 years.
Are you finding it harder and harder to spend time with your family? All you need is the right place to reconnect.
Big walleye, Dad.
Northwest Ontario, your place to reconnect.
The Edge is presented by these and other fine sponsors.
You know, because I close every one of our television shows with a reference of some kind to the Bible, I get a lot of responses. And if people send me all kind of information and say, hey, you might want to consider this for a close. One of them is a little booklet I got here called Rhythms of Grace. And a short note came with it. Let me just read it to you real quick. Al, just quick note to thank you for the great ice fishing video. Loved it. I thought you might enjoy a devotional booklet for Lent. I produced this with a local pastor, and it has been a popular item. This devotional needs to be used with the daily scripture readings to get the best out of it. This pastor definitely has a gift, and I hope you enjoy it. As one of your big fans, my husband and I saw you on Gull Lake during one of your charity tournaments. Thanks, Judy from Iowa. And after I read through this, one of them, I actually flagged a couple of them that I thought would be of interest. Let me read you the one on 10 Commandments. Most of you heard what the 10 Commandments are. Many of you can probably recite them, and some of you can probably recite them in order. But let me read you a little bit of what they wrote on this daily devotional. From the top of Mount Sinai, mysteriously wrapped in a blanket of clouds and smoke, God's rules for living were delivered to his chosen people. There were 10 commandments, one for each finger, so that even little children could remember them. The 10 laws, each short and to the point, cover the major aspects of people's relationships with God and one another. Simply put, God knows there are ways to live life that work and ways that don't work. The 10 Commandments enhance and expand life rather than limiting it. These rules for living are intended to protect us as individuals and a community from behaviors that have the potential to destroy us. Then there was a little bit more, and she did a closing prayer. It says, everlasting God, we thank you for your simple code of law that teaches us the greatest lessons of life, reverence for you and respect for your fellow human beings. May we increasingly live according to your rules so there might be peace in our hearts and in our world. You know, when I look and read the 10 Commandments today and look at the world that we're living in and think about when these were written, handed to Moses, and how pertinent they are today, if we were to all follow these 10 Commandments, I guarantee you the world would be a better place. Hey, from all of us here at The Edge, you have a good, safe fishing season. Just a little food for thought this week. We'll see you on the water. Hey, I want to take a moment to thank you for watching. And if you really like what you see, we got a whole lot more. So check us out at any one of these online outlets.